Hey guys, so I want to talk to you real quick about something that I'm really passionate about, and I thought it would be a good time to share it now that we're heading into the holiday season. Things are going to be a little hectic. I know you guys are super busy. Sometimes we all get a little stressed during the holidays, and so I thought this would be the perfect time to chat about self-care. And if you know me, I always talk about this, and I'm always asking, what'd you do for yourself today? Because I think it's really important that we do that on a daily basis. So before we get into the self-care, I wanted to chat with you a little bit about what burnout is, what the signs look like, and then I can give you some tips on some self-care, which hopefully will avoid burnout. So what is burnout? Burnout, the technical term, is somebody who's inoperative. For example, at work, if I'm feeling burnt out, I just cannot take on one more task. Like, I'm feeling super overwhelmed, some signs of increased irritability, things that never used to bother me are bothering me. I'm cutting corners and I'm doing just what I have to do, and I'm not going to do anything more than that. Not sleeping at night. I'm just really feeling unfulfilled. So you don't have to fit into every single one of those categories, but those are some signs that you are having some burnout. And just so that you guys know, I do have a burnout quiz, so if you would like to check that out, go ahead and pop your email down below in the comments, and I'd be happy to send that to you. So a couple quick tips on some self-care, and really, what is self-care? So self-care basically is just really taking care of yourself, and I am a firm believer in taking care of yourself on a daily basis. I actually just chatted with a gal who said, I have 4 kids, I'm running around with my head cut off, making dinner, making lunches, making breakfast, getting them to school, doing all A, B, and C, and I just don't have time for myself. And I get it. Like, I don't have kids of my own, but I do have a crazy schedule. But I always make time for myself just because I want to be the best that I can be for the others that I'm caring for. Whether that be your kids or the people that you work with, clients, as us as coaches, the individuals that we help on a daily basis. We can only be as good as we feel. And if we're feeling tired and just really not in it, then how can we help our people as best as we can? So there's a author or a researcher that I typically like to do some research on. His name is Norcross, and he talks about 3 different strategies for self-care. I'm only going to chat about 2. One of them is talking about kind of personal organization, and it kind of seems like an odd topic, and I'll give you some examples that he talks about that you guys can work on too. So in the space that you spend most of your time, whether it's in an office, at home, in your own office, wherever, he suggests that you make that as comfortable as possible. So getting a comfy chair, putting on some music in the background to help you think and talk and be creative. He also talks about putting plants in your office. And this is just a really good reflection of kind of what's going on in your life. So if your plant hasn't been watered and it's wilting and it's not doing really well, then I feel like that is something that is kind of like a sign, like you need to check yourself. So I actually have a plant in my office, and I keep it watered, and when I'm gone for a while, it's definitely starting to wilt, so I have to focus on it. So that's kind of like I turn it back on myself, and I need to continue to focus on myself. Another thing he talks about is actually during lunchtime, stepping away from your office, whatever that may look like. So not eating and working at the same time, and I'm definitely guilty of that. 100%, and I will be working on that. But just stepping away, you know, for the 30 minutes or for however much time you have, just stepping away from what you're doing for most of the day. So I would definitely try to do that. Another thing that he talks about is counter conditioning, which basically just means physical activity, meditation, a healing or religious center that you guys go to and pray. He also talks that you can volunteer your time, any little activity. It doesn't have to be for a long time. For me personally, I actually meditate on a daily basis, depending on how much time I have. I meditate between 5 to 10 minutes, and if I have a longer amount of time, then I'll go ahead and meditate longer. Meditation, literally, I have beads that I kind of count, and that's my meditation. Meditation can mean anything to you guys. And then also, as you know, I exercise on a daily basis for 30 minutes. So I think just really incorporating stuff for you. I had somebody say, well, you know, I can take my daughter to the mall and that can be our time. It has to be something for you only. So reading a book or listening to audio just for yourself, for nobody else. But yeah, so I wanted to just bring those up, and maybe check yourself. Are you doing some self-care things every day? And then if not, check yourself. Are you feeling burnt out? Like I said, I would be happy to give you guys the burnout quiz. And then also, if you want, I would love to see what you guys are doing for self-care. So if you want to post a comment on something that you do daily for yourself, whether it's, you know, a minute to 30 minutes, whatever, I would love to see it. And one thing that I am actually thinking about doing is actually doing a personal development / self-care challenge group. So if that's something that you're interested in, because I think we can all benefit from it, even though I do self-care every day, I think I could benefit from it. So if you're interested, make a comment below and I'll go ahead and see if there's a lot of interest and maybe start that group. Thanks for listening, you guys. Hope you have a great day. Bye.